Got it.
Awesome. So how are you doing today?
Good, good. It's
Yeah.
uh it's a beautiful sunny day today, so it's not too cold, but it's I'm just enjoying the weather this morning. That's it.
We had a really beautiful, similar, like very sunny. It's very beautiful and sunny. I was out just for a walk in the ravine, and I mean, for your weather, you would find this cold, but comparatively, but it was not like uncomfortably cold. So
hmm
it was really nice. And like there's snow coming, but the ground right now is like really clear. So it was like really nice to like it was easy to like walk off path and go to the river.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our weather's been really weird this year. It's been like a month behind schedule on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm doing good. Just have some questions and that I
Yeah.
want answering for. There's large questions.
Yeah. I've
So,
I've gathered that. Yeah.
yep.
So what's what is let's start with this. So you were on the 12-12 meditation,
Yeah,
right? Were you on the other one that I did or just that one?
just that one.
Just at a 12-12. Okay. Yeah. There was a lot less people on the first one. So, and what about that really resonated with you? That really, um, like, what did it really inspire in you that felt different and that made it feel important to connect more deeply and chat with me further?
Um, well, so I got invited through it from Ismail through Project Restoration, and
Yeah.
and I have a lot of people that he follows and I follow. Astrological teachers and stuff. So, and his book, our cosmic origins. It's stuff that I've already been feeling and like almost knowing, and so I just really resonated with that aspect. And then when I hopped on the call, it was I could feel the energy. It was a lot of people that are very like-minded, and like for me, a lot of my friends that I had, and I mean I'm sure this is for like a lot of people on their spiritual path. I don't have those type of friends anymore, and it's nice to find people that are on the same path, feeling the same things that I'm feeling, I guess. And then also you added some stuff that I had never heard before. I mean, I don't know what kind of dialect, or is it light language you were doing, or
Yeah.
something, but I could feel it, because for me my whole spiritual experience started with energy, vibration, frequency, and the whole metaphysical aspect of it. So when I heard those sounds and what you were saying, it really resonated with me, even though I didn't know what was going on exactly. But I really enjoyed the meditation, and it's something that I was drawn to talk to you about, because what I have to say, it's tough for a lot of people to digest, especially people who don't know about UFOs and star seeds and just the whole aspect. And I'm still newer to the whole aspect as well, but I've done deeper research than a lot, I would say. But yeah, that's what resonated, I guess.
Awesome. Awesome. And what is it like you are most hoping for, you know, in terms of, like you said, you have a lot of questions. Like, what is it you're most hoping to get clarity on? And where is it you're most hoping to get to in your next steps with your spirituality and your spiritual work? Like your experience, like your own spiritual expansion, and then like
Yeah.
also like potentially, if you're there yet, like your spiritual service.
So I want to find out exactly what type of, because I told you I felt like I was Andromedan, but I'm not sure. And I know I'm a starseed
You're
for a
Syrian
fact,
Elven
and
origin.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's
There's a
awesome to
very,
know.
very strong connection between Syrian energy and Elven energy. So
What's elven energy?
it's the magical realms of the earth. So the
Okay,
Elven help to seed the Syrians' plan for Mother Gaia. They help support. They're helping to support the
okay,
ascension of the earth.
okay,
So
okay.
so you have a long history connected with the earth. Yeah, and Lemurian origin.
Right, right,
So a lot of people with
right,
Syrian Elven have Lemurian origin. Yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah.
And just so pretty much my whole life changed. I mean, not just as far as like the way I thought, but just my outlook on everything once I started to dig deep and have these spiritual experiences. And there's a lot more stuff that happened in conjunct with my spiritual awakening, because it had to do with me leaving the church, really, which was not good as far as my parents, you know. um so like, for instance, I haven't talked to my adoptive mom in well over a year and a half. You know, there's been a lot of struggle in that way, but that's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother
There's some
story.
rips and tears in her aura. That's part of the problem.
My my adoptive mom.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
that need
no.
repair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she had, so my parents are actually getting a divorce. And it has to do with a part of my situation that I'm in currently. But I can get to that at a later time, you know, if we talk further, because it's not it, it'll be too much. But anyways, when I moved down here to Tucson after 18 years this year, it was, you know, I got reconnected with my sister. I moved in with her, and me and my mom and my sister were all together for the first time since kids. And you know, I started to tell my mom these weird things that were happening. Me feeling like I was kind of sort of being followed, and then she was saying the exact same things for her. And I haven't seen her since I was 16. And then she started to tell me, well, there's a book being written about us star seeds and just this weird stuff. But I'm like, I've been feeling the same things. So I will tell you this.
Mhm.
When I was adopted, um, so I was the only kid in my group home. After the whole UFO thing happened, I went into the group home a year later, and I was, you know, severely mentally disabled, as far as, you know, it was hard for me to read, write, all of that stuff. I had a big stutter. Plus, I was an orphan kid, so I didn't fit in. And but I started to do great. Got put on medications, and all these families wanted to adopt me. And in this group home, there's 10 kids. I was there for 3 years by choice. And I mean, I was the only kid that had multiple families wanting to adopt him all the time, and I just had special treatment. And my group home used to get government funding the 3 years that I was there that they never got
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned that. Yeah.
But the first family that I went to move to, ordinarily enough, it was in Sedona. And
I know that is
she
that's powerful. But again, it
and
has to do with the fact that you have this really strong connection to the earth,
mm-hmm,
this Alvin connection, and
mm-hmm.
there's a lot of very important earth portals there.
And I had never even known what Sedona was, you know. And so, but before I left, I mean, they threw this huge party for me. I mean, I have friends still to this day from childhood that I went to the group home with, that were that used to be so jealous of, and I never understood why I was getting all these like special things happening to me. But like I said, my case manager gave me this life book written about me. That's never happened in CPS. And I worked in behavioral health. Like, I've worked in group homes in my adult life, so I know, you know. So I have lived at both. But in the back of it, there was a personalized letter from the governor at the time, Jenny Napolitano of Arizona. There's just all this information about my family, and you know, she said that I was a bright kid, and I didn't think anything of it. You know, I was young, I was 11, so my adoptive mom still has that book. But the lady who I chose to move in with, I didn't start making the connections till now. But she worked for the governor's office in California as a secretary before she moved to Sedona. And the reason why I chose her is because she was a girls basketball coach and she had one son that was my age. That was why I chose to move there. But it didn't work out with her. And somehow I got involved with my parents that I know now. And me and my dad actually have the same birthdays, which is weird. We're both Cancers, July 7th, and my mom's a Leo. Um, and
This is your birth family?
adoptive, adoptive,
Oh,
very weird.
adoptive
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So my dad is his birthday July 7th, like mine, Cancer, and my mom's a Leo. And she's been my best friend. Like she knows everything about me. And then when I started to look at my astrological chart, I'm like, no wonder why we have such a strong connection. I have 5 planets in Leo, you know. And my dad has always said I got my mom better than he did as far as like our connection. So I knew a lot of stuff that she was hiding that no one believed, you know. And I don't know where I was getting with that, but it's just a lot of weird stuff has happened. And I think a part of the reason why my mom has been distant and hidden a lot of stuff has to do with the things that happened to me when I was a kid, because she was the one that took care of all the paperwork, did all that, because my dad worked. You know, he didn't really read through CPS paperwork of, because I'm not the only adoptive kid. I have a large family. There's, 7 of us, and 2 of them are only their biological. All the rest of us are adopted.
Okay.
So yeah. And I mean, it sucks because I'll show you pictures and stuff. Like I have a big awesome family. My parents have done amazing things, and like now they're getting a divorce. So and my mom has just hidden a lot of stuff. Well, a lot of stuff has been hidden about that day and what happened, and it's all starting to make sense to me as to my memory loss, why I'm so different. Like something happened to my family March 13th, 1997, with UFOs, and my life changed after that.
Yeah.
Like completely changed. And I think it has to do with the powerful, like I don't know if who it was, like I've done some research or what entities came down, but I don't know if they were like triggering like certain spots of like powerful vibrational frequencies, and seeing that me and my mom and my sister are all star seeds, maybe they chose that area. But I mean, there's people that I know, because I'm back here now in Tucson, that remember that day and saw what happened. And I was like, yeah, I was living on Miracle Mile. They're like, that's where we saw the beam. And I'm like, whoa, just weird stuff like that. And I just moved here after 18 years, you know and just my whole family story, our names, like if you look at our names, they're all very distinct. Like we were all born certain years apart, and we're all polar opposites. I'm a Cancer, my sister's a Libra, completely opposite of me, you know and my sister,
Just to clarify, because just I want to understand, your sister you're talking about now, is this the same sister you sent me the picture? And the sister
biological.
no, okay, so the
Yeah,
sister you sent me the picture is your biological sister.
yeah.
That was my understanding.
Yeah
Not
so
one of not one of your
so yeah
siblings from
so
your adopted family.
Yeah. So all of my adopted family lives up north in Prescott, like near the Sedona area, because I didn't
Okay.
stay in Sedona. I was only there for a year, and then things didn't work out with Terry, the lady that I moved there with, and then that's how I
Yes.
found my adoptive family. So I've been with them since. But I moved back down here um, to get reunited with my biological family, and like my mom. So it's like her to just disappear. She's an off and on drug addict. I mean, I've struggled with, drug abuse. Like that's a part of the reason why I got into behavioral health. Like I've been a counselor, worked in rehabs before
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And but for me, I've up until 4 years ago, like I've always been like I was always part of the cool kids in high school, but I was always shy and extroverted. I was only that because I was good in sports. And but 4 years ago, like I said, when I started to have this spiritual awakening, when I went to rehab for like the last time and became a teacher and all this stuff, like anything I wanted to do, I've done, like my manifesting gifts, because I started to learn about all of that and I dug deep into it. Like anything that I have wanted to do the past 4 years, I've done. And Like, I mean, 6 months into, you know, working at this rehab, I become a counselor and a teacher, and then I decide I want to do, you know, firefighting stuff. So I got, you know, a few firefighting certifications, and now I'm doing painting and photography. Like I haven't even, I never touched a paintbrush until 2 years ago, and now I'm doing, you know, custom shoes and murals. And but my mom told me this year that I've always had that in me, and she couldn't tell me much, but she was like, look, our family is gifted.
Just to clarify, is this your biological mother saying
Yes.
this? Okay.
And when she told me that there's a book being written about our family, and
Yeah.
there's already a life book given to me, and then she just disappears, and my sister doesn't know where she's at. Nobody knows where she's at.
Oh, I thought it's your mom that disappeared. I thought it was your sister. Okay.
No, no, no. I was talking to my sister yesterday, our mom, Aurora.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's her name. And then my sister's name is Iris. So I looked at the Greek mythology. Aurora means dawn before light, and then my
Yeah.
name in the Greek origin, because we all have ancient Greek names. I know we have a strong pull to that time period. We all do. I mean, one of my first murals that I did last year was of that, and I can show you. And my sister, she studies Greek mythology, and that's her draw. So my name's Estevan. It means crown king. Her firstborn daughter means Iris, and that literally means rainbow, like goddess of rainbows. So if my mom's name is Dawn before light, her firstborn daughter was literally rainbow, Iris, and then she doesn't have kids for 10 years. And I didn't know until I was 16 that I had another sister and brother when I went to go see my mom, like I told you, when I was 16 here in Tucson with my adoptive family. And my sister Giovanna and brother Roman were both really small at the time. Now they're, my brother Roman's 17, my sister Giovanna's 19. So yeah, I met them, and so my sister Giovanna, she's the oldest out of the two, and she's a Cancer like I am. And her name means God's gift, God's gracious gift, from the Greek, you know, Roman origin originally. And then
Sorry, it's sorry, what was the name again? And it means God's gracious gift. What was it?
Giovanna.
Giovanna. Okay, yeah.
Yes, yes. And then my brother Roman, he was born about a year and a half after her, and he's a
Oh, sorry.
Libra.
Can I
Go ahead.
just pause you for one
Oh
second?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
There's
you're
just
good.
something quickly that's important that I have to do here.
Yeah, you're good.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry about
It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
It was something, it was my daughter's daycare. I had to answer it. So, but I'm here. So keep going.
Yeah, so he was born exactly a year and a half later from my sister Giovanna, and he's a, a Libra on the cusp of a Scorpio. Um, and his name is Roman, which means prophet. So my name's Estevan. I'm the oldest son. My name's Crown King, means Crown King, and then he's the youngest, and then his name is Prophet, and he doesn't know who his dad is. I don't know who my dad is. Very weird, but the girls know who their dad is. And my mom lost custody of all of us. So at 10 years, before my mom lost custody of me and my sister, she goes with her dad. I go into CPS, and then just recently, my mom lost custody of them when they were like 11 or 12. But my sister and I had been in their lives more recently, so we've been able to help in those aspects. But I don't know. There's just a lot of weirdness to the whole situation. But I do know one thing for a fact is that this year I have had, I don't know if they're they're like archangels in human form or alien or what they are, but I've had two Palladians come and visit me this year because, and I can show you who they are, and I can tell you the stories about that. One was just recently. Her name's Carmen. She's from Romania, and she actually is the one that helped me get this acting and modeling thing. But and she's the one that helped me realize what actually happened that day. She didn't tell me much because the power of free will, but was explaining to her all this crazy stuff that was happening and me not understanding. And she was like, "You don't remember what happened to you when you were a kid, do you?" And just instinctively, I was like, "What?" And then she didn't tell me much after that. And I prayed about it that night, prayed, to God and to my spirit guides. And then that next morning, I was like, oh my God, that's why when the first thing that she said when I met her is, oh my gosh, you communicate really well. And she has a Romanian accent. That's the first thing she told me. And then that morning I was like, that's why you told me that, because all of this has to do with what happened March 13th and how I had those stuttering problems, severe. Like you can still hear it in my talk sometimes when I get flustered, but they
Okay,
were
can I
severe.
pause you on that because it's important energetically? Because the reason why I'm doing this with the selenite is
Mm-hmm.
because I was feeling the energy of constriction, like a
Mm-hmm.
noose around my
Yep.
neck,
Yep.
and I'm like working to kind of clear that energy out.
Here,
So
here, here, let me help you.
there's a trauma there, and it could be a past life trauma that's wanting to be cleared out.
Well, let me just breathe a little bit because I've been talking a lot, and that will probably help you loosen that up. I can promise that. Okay, I
So,
promise.
and it's a, and I'm gonna tell you like, uh, I like to try and just be real with people. I'm an extremely positive person. I'm a huge believer in following the Most High, in Christ, in the healing available for everyone, in anchoring and making this new heaven on earth reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I also am very equally aware of the sort of dark energies that are opposed to that,
Mm-hmm.
and all of these past life traumas that come up to be cleared so that we can, so that you can like lead, like you said, with your crown on.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
Because you have that royal lineage, you are blue ray, you have that connection to source, and that's your galactic inheritance. So but but blue rays have been through a lot of shit for a lot of lifetimes, and there is definitely, and I've had this too, right? Like, do you like to do this light language that I do now was a big long process. There's a lot of healing that had to happen to get to the point where I was able to do that, right?
Of course, of course.
And I feel like there's this energy from, and it's coming up from your Akashic record from a past life of where you were, it just feels like an energy of being strangled or some sort of a noose, and it shut you up in some way, you know?
Right, right.
So also I have another question for you. Did your mother, has your biological mother,
Uh-huh.
has she been physically abused by a partner in this life?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm
So I
sensing that also, that she's
yes.
had this, like somebody strangled her is what I'm feeling also.
So I
And
don't
that
know
there's
of.
some sort of imprint that on you from that because it could even be something that happened like when she was pregnant with you or before you were born? I'm just feeling that energy.
So my mom had me when she was 15, okay, and I'll get into the family dynamics of my family, just so you know.
I'm sorry
Like,
if this looks really weird, but it's
no,
important.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
I just like I have to sort of let go of my pride here and just,
oh no, no. See, and that's the wonderful thing about me is, like, I don't. So a lot of the karma that I've been through the past 10 years, or just, my adult life, I'm 30, is from my earlier years when I was younger. I used to be a jerk to people. I had this false sense of pride because I was good at stuff, and I really didn't know myself. I grew up without a father. I had all this trauma in my life, and which led to drug addiction. And now, since my spiritual awakening, I found myself. I have that confidence, but I'm not egotistical. I love everyone the same. I don't see myself as any different. I'm just confident in my abilities, and I want everyone else to be. But so yeah, don't say sorry for that. But so my past, my family, I don't know my dad. My mom had me when she was 15. Um, and I was her firstborn. And I'm pretty sure that she was using drugs while I was in her stomach, because I'm 100% positive I was born an addict, like, for a fact. I just
okay.
didn't know it until I started to experience drug addiction, which I'm very versed in, as
Yeah.
a counselor and stuff. And um, but yeah, so my family history, as far as I know, so my last name is Montano, but my family name is Armenta. And here in Tucson, we I have found out that they were one of the largest cartel running families, because we're the largest city right by the border here in Arizona. Okay, which is big, because when I was younger, I know some of my memory loss is from trauma. That's a normal thing, but I do have memories of just, pulling up to my aunts and uncle's house, just lavish living, and I didn't know why. But then, my uncles went to prison for 10 years. They were not allowed back in the United States, and, everything changed. But there's just a lot of traumas from my mom. And then when I was a kid, I remember her being, abused by men, and my sister was, sexually abused as a kid, and I don't remember those things. My sister Iris, she ended up telling me that this year. Okay.
I'm
And
just releasing the energy. There's a lot of energy that
oh,
wants.
there's
I'm doing a healing here, a powerful
yeah,
healing.
there's a lot more. So I mean, for me, for instance, I saw my first person get shot when I was 5 years old. you know i i I remember being, eating breakfast, and my family was a part of, the cartels, and there being, gunshots, me eating breakfast, in a drive-by, and just stuff like that, and there's just a lot of trauma. Like, before I went into the group home, which is right after that whole UFO thing happened, and my mom lost custody of us because of her drug addiction. I had green toenails. All of my toes were green because my mom didn't have enough money for shoes. Like I remember her having to go steal, and me and my sister having to fend for ourselves just to eat. You know, like, a lot of trauma, which I personally, I have worked through myself, and this is the journey that I'm on, and that's why I'm so good with people. It's because I've experienced so much from so young, and coming from where I come from, it's a miracle that I've made it this far. I've had friends, die. I've had friends in prison, and I've had friends do amazing things too. That's the beautiful thing about it is for me, I've experienced so much darkness, but I've also experienced so much light on this journey. So much light. Like like the blessings that I have experienced have led me to where I'm at right now, to be able to have this spiritual awakening and shine light, you know. It's just unfortunate that I'm in the situation I'm in right now, and it has to do with me finding out about my family and what my background is, because my family's last name is has followed me till now. Like I'm the oldest son, oldest male in my family from this upcoming generation. I have a lot of responsibility to my siblings, not just biological, but adoptive too, because I'm the oldest in that family as well. And you know, like I said, I've struggled with, you know, drug addiction in my past, but it's never, I've always bounced back up and I've done great. You know, I've been a nutritional aid, I've done all this stuff, but it's never been my calling and my passion. What I'm doing now, what I'm starting to do now is my calling and my passion. I've just had to go through so much that I'm still going through. It's nearing the end right now. And I think it's why I'm getting in contact with you and my spiritual family, because like I said, 4 years ago, my whole life changed. You know, I was scared to get in front of a classroom and just talk, you know, because I had so much anxiety. 4 years ago, when I had my spiritual awakening and started to get this confidence, I became a teacher, like talking in front of students. Now I'm like signing up for acting and modeling stuff. Like, I mean, in high school, like I was, like I said, I was popular, but I was the one out of my friends, I was the weird one. Like, you know, that's why I was good at poetry. I've always been good at poetry, but as far as talking, no way, Jose. Like that was not a thing that I did. And it comes from the anxiety I had from those stuttering problems that I had. But I never had those prior to that day, March 13th, 1997. Like I don't know if it's from getting hit by a car or if that was the thing that they said that happened from that day. But I mean, my vertebrae isn't aligned anymore from that day, because I remember when I was a kid, I was amazing at skating and uh, I was very outgoing, you know, but I was also a little asshole too. but but I think it's from my family, you know, the way that I was raised. And after that day, I don't know if the alien beings did it on purpose to to kind of have me learn all of my life lessons that I need to learn, you know, like retrospectively, because they saw that I had all these gifts, that I was a star seed, my whole family was, but my family name, my upbringing was terrible. So maybe they saw that I needed to experience those things, get put in CPS and go through this life journey of just not being able to express myself the way that I needed to, you know, up until now. I don't know.
Okay. Everything right now, this whole old story, this whole timeline is being collapsed. Okay. I have been collapsing it with like every single word. I've been bringing it through my entire Socratic system and collapsing it. So if you want to fully receive that healing, you just need to say yes and it's done.
Yes. Oh yes, I've been ready. So I came down here to fix my family dynamics, and the complete opposite thing happened. Like I got kicked out of my sister's. My mom ended up relapsing again because she was doing good when I first got here at the beginning of the year. She's nowhere to be found. Like, you know, it was
Well,
the
part of
complete
this has
opposite of,
been to help with your mother's healing because there's a big healing for her around all of this that is relevant for you as well. Um, I felt an energy of her being a little disconnected from her soul, almost like she was in this like in between realm. It
Well,
wasn't an
she's
energy of possession,
well,
but
she's
it
used
was
drugs all of her life, and I'm sure she's messed with dark entities and
it, it,
magic and
again, it wasn't possession. Like it wasn't possession by like the witchcraft, but it was the energy of like being, yeah, like that's a good way of putting it, a little astrally lost, and that's from drug use. Okay.
yep, yep. And I was
Yeah.
headed down, seeing I was headed down that path, but I've never seen me. I've always been the sort of addict, they call it. Like I've never been, technically homeless, and I've had too much. I've never been that way. I was raised better, not to say that I'm better than any other drug addict, but I've never let myself get to that point. And this year I had to see my mom as a grown adult high on drugs for the first time. Like me, my mom and my sister were in my sister's kitchen, and I got to tell her everything that me and my sister have always wanted to tell her while she was high,
Okay.
because she was lying to us.
I gotta pause you just because it's important for me, and I have to like also mind my energy here. And because what's happening is you're like they are receiving healing through this call. I'm like at the same time, there's so much healing that's required to get them through this 1221 portal for the ascension that I just simply cannot do it all. And I know you want to bring them through the portal with you. And I know that in your heart of hearts is part of why you went back, and you want to bring them forward,
So
because you feel you
my
feel this
mother,
on a
I
soul.
don't.
There's like a soul level kind of contract thing about that. Um, but like I am just like not in a position to fully bring them forward across this rainbow
Of
bridge
course, of
right
course.
now from where we're
And
at. And it's like like I don't like this amount of overwhelming healing coming through on the call. And what I was feeling off their pictures yesterday is like it's it's like above and beyond. Like it's a lot. There's like you said, this energy of the drug cartels, um
it's my
and
whole
these
it's my whole
overlords.
family lineage.
It's it these the bloodshed and the karma of the overlords of what that caused all of this disruption to happen in your family's world is it's it was specifically sort of coming as an attack on that energy of Ava Maria, as attack on the Divine Mother. And like it's actually interesting that this is coming up. It's a bloodshed conquest energy that's directly in opposition to the ascension of Mother Earth. And that's how and like that's how dark. So it's
Can,
like
can I
some of
tell
these
you?
people, these overlords are, and I'm feeling pressure in my head now saying this. And I'm not one of those people that normally feels a lot of pressure in my head, but they're like these people are completely disconnected souls. So it's just I would say try like what I almost am concerned for you in reconnecting back. You are taken out of this situation for your own protection. Like, and I hate to say this to you, but I don't know if this is going to be able to be completely resolved.
Well, can I tell you one? Since you said that, can I tell you the one important aspect to all of this that I didn't want to tell you because it's probably going to sound the craziest, but it's not. Okay. So the whole cartel aspect, my family last name Armenta. So my name's Montano. Um, in my early 20s, I got into some trouble, with the law, because like I said, I was heading down that same path, right? So I
Yeah,
made
and
a
sorry, I
name.
need to cut you off. And I'm sorry, I'm not normally like this in a call. I'm not normally
Mhm.
this like but there are people that have done all these dark things that have some sort of genetic connection to you that are trying to like use you as a free pass to get through the ascension. And God's saying, no, 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 that's not going to fly. They have a lot of repentance to do for what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I that's like, it sounds so high and mighty to say that, but I just channel, and I've never said this to a person before in my life, but it's just the truth.
See, in my family now, they're not involved in any of that, to tell you the
I'm
truth.
not talking about your adoptive family. There's a reason why you were taken out of this situation.
Right.
Okay.
So I got into trouble in my early 20s. Like, I made a name for myself in up north in Prescott, okay, with the wrong um people. But I never went to prison. I got out of jail. I did 4 years of probation, got that out of the way. In this, I got off of probation 6 years ago. But I ended up relapsing again about 5 years ago. Okay. And I was doing good at the time. I had a nice challenger. And once I relapsed, somehow, some way, they started to have an undercover start to get information on me. And my stupid ass said I had connections to the cartels, knowing that I would not ever do anything on that aspect, which I never have, never will, never. I just said it egotistically, like, hey, maybe I could do this, which I could. And I didn't know the full realm of it until I came to Tucson back to reunite this year when I saw everything. Like, I didn't. And this was 4 years ago. But I started to be followed 4 years ago. And so here's where the story gets crazy. My adoptive mom up north, mind you, has connections to law enforcement. I mean, her best friend's a probation officer. So here's, up until recently, a part of the reason why my parents got a divorce. My mom has been cheating on my dad for about 5, 6 years, and one of those people was a police officer up in Prescott 4 years ago. So I started to tell my family I'm being followed, and I was using drugs, but I was never crazy. I'm still not crazy. I'm being followed. I'm being followed. I don't know why I'm being followed. I'm not selling drugs. Mom, I'm being followed. What the fuck's going on? And she was lying to me, and I knew it intuitively because I have that gift. But it's because she was cheating on my dad with an officer of the law. So she was making it seem like I was fucking crazy to my whole family. And now everyone's starting to see it because the truth just came out this year. Like this is shit that has haunted me because I have no reason to be followed, and I have been being followed. So the only time I stopped being followed in the past 4 years was when I was completely sober for a year and a half. Things were good with my mom, and I relapsed one more time at the beginning of 2020. And I can tell you the exact time that I started to be followed again. I went back home for Father's Day 2020, and my mom seen that I might have relapsed, might have, and she was messaging whoever. I know it. And I sent her and my mom and my oldest sister a long email about all of this year because it's been a long time coming. And I didn't say anything because I didn't want to sound crazy again. And I was living in Phoenix at this time. So when I was first being followed, it was in Prescott, but I was living in Phoenix now because I was working in the treatment centers. And and I'm like, there's no way I'm being followed again by these same Jeeps. What the fuck? And I'm like, it makes so much sense. It's right after Father's Day 2020, and started to be followed again. And I didn't say anything, but I explained to my oldest adoptive sister about all this, who's not on good terms with my mom, and she had moved to Phoenix too. And I was explaining to her, I was like, dude, and she was making all these correlations with me um, because she had just moved out of the house. Um, and then I moved to Tucson to get reunited with my family this year. And a part of the reason why I did is I didn't want to keep being followed. Okay. So
Sorry,
I
you
moved
went back to which family so you wouldn't be followed?
my biological, like, I moved from Phoenix and I moved back home to Tucson to see if I would stop being followed because I knew who was all behind this, like, and it all makes sense. And it's even like longer story, but you don't need to know the details to know what I'm saying. Um, but I can at a later point. But it has to do with the connections that my mom has with people who have a lot of power in that town. And my mom is a Leo, and she's a control freak. Like when we were growing up, I mean, it was very
This isn't
military
about
style.
the like this isn't about your mom being a Leo and a control freak. This is about them drawing you in to their karma, okay?
My mom's
And
karma, because my
and
dad.
trying to offload their karma onto
Uh-huh.
you. And again, you were taken out of that situation for a reason.
So yeah.
So you were meant to, in this lifetime, heal that genetic line, but from a distance. And I've met other people like this before, where they were from these really dark families where there was a lot of like illegal things happening with like fraudulent things, like these kinds of like mobster or like cartel type things. And also they were adopted and meant to resolve that genetic bloodline at a distance.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm
So
talking about my adoptive parents now.
your adoptive parents aren't really the problem. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe like, yeah, so your mom, your adoptive mom doesn't really understand you.
Well, no. So she's the reason why I started to be followed
Why,
by.
why are they following you because of her?
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. When I was using drugs 4 years ago, I had detectives like undercovers, uh, who were girls. I can tell you exactly who it was. Um, when I After I said I had ties to the cartels from my biological family, okay,
Yes,
that I really knew
that's the big
nothing about.
problem.
So that's why I started to be followed. And here's what happened: my mom was cheating on my dad with a law enforcement officer. And this was 4 years ago, before my dad knew or I knew anything about my mom cheating, but I knew she knew something about this. So I think what they did is they contacted my mom and tried to find out information about my past and if I really had those cartel connections, because I was adopted. And here's what my mom did, and I can tell you, she
If you
contacted.
didn't actually do anything, which you didn't, with
No,
those people, then what is it that they really wanted
it's
to
from my
know about
past.
you?
Well, because it's from my past in my early 20s, when I was actually getting in trouble, because they had already kind of known me, and they were like, oh, okay, well,
Okay. So
Estevan
you did do
relapsed.
some things that were like
Oh
illegal, but
yeah,
not connected to
yes.
these cartels.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, I
Just to
got
be crystal
arrested.
clear.
Yes, in my early 20s, I got arrested for attempted sales, and it's just because I had, a larger quantity of like marijuana on me. Um,
Okay.
and 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 so I made a name for myself, but I also made a name for myself in that town for the good things I did, because after I got off probation, I started doing really good. So I knew a lot of people in Prescott. It's not a huge town, and so when I relapsed again, somehow, some way, they found out. It's probably
That's
like,
highly different. Like we're talking about like something that's now like legalized where I live versus murder. Like we're talking about
right,
very
right, right,
different karma.
right.
Okay. And
Well,
it's important to
also,
just make
also,
that clear, you
also,
know?
also, also, I did have other illegal drugs on me,
Okay.
like like I had heroin on me.
Okay.
Just to be clear. So
Okay.
yes, but since that point, since I got off probation, I haven't been selling drugs or doing any of that. I learned my lesson. The worst that I've done is I've relapsed. Here's where the fucked up karma comes in. Is
Okay, just to be mindful about the time, I just want to let you know we're already at just about an hour, so we do need to wrap
okay.
up soon. Okay.
Okay. I'll
And
I'll be
there's things
done.
I want to share too before we
Yeah.
close. So
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
be
so if you
done.
could try and figure out how to like finish your story
Yeah.
now
I'll
with it
do it
like
in
this
a
next chat.
little over 5 minutes, and then I'll be done
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
fully. So when they had got me on record saying that I had the cartel ties, which I didn't know anything of 4 years ago. Now I do, because I was adopted. I just had said it because I knew my family somehow, uh, some way had those ties from a kid. So they contacted my mom because my mom is a powerful person in Prescott who was actually cheating on my dad with a law enforcement officer, come to find out this year. Um, and so they contacted her, and she contacted this lady named Darlene Galloway. Darlene Galloway I've known since I was a kid. She's a retired lawyer who adopted one of my best friends from the group home, Sam. And I'm friends with them till this day. Well, not anymore because of this situation. Darlene has me blocked, and here's why: because that's how they were able to find out where my mom was in Tucson. And I haven't seen my mom since I was 16. And that's why this year, when I moved back, she had the same stories about her being followed as well. And Darlene Galloway started to act weird at the same time that my mom started to act weird. She was sending me random recovery quotes and this and that. It just all matches up. And I intuitively know it because my Akashic record shows that I have those intuitive gifts, and I'm not wrong about any of it because it all points out. So, um, so this is like triple hurt for me because my mom is my best friend, and I've known that she has known something, but she's had shit to hide because it has to do with her marriage. Okay. And my dad is starting to find out all these things now, my adoptive dad, because I mean, I haven't seen my family for over a year and a half, like my brothers, my sisters, like, and it's because my mom has made it seem like I'm fucking crazy, and I'm not gonna say that I'm crazy when I'm not crazy. And that's why me and my mom haven't talked. And my mom has a restraining order on my dad because, you know, she has shit to hide regarding stuff like this, you know, and that's why they're getting a divorce. And if you look at my family, like, we have done amazing things. Like, my mom and dad have been amazing up until this stuff started to happen, and it has to do with my past karma, my mom having shit to hide with her cheating on my dad. And
Okay.
so when I'm
So, okay, I'm gonna have to just pause you because we do need to kind of wrap this up. So energetically, this isn't about your adopted mom and your adopted dad. On the whole,
but
energetically, they're
but I'm
fairly
still being
neutral.
followed. But I'm still
But
being
still, I'm just
followed.
talking about because this you're on this call because this is a higher self-assessment and activation for your ascension. Okay.
Mhm.
And the issue with connecting with your higher self and ascending is not about this story and whatever you're dealing with your adopted mom and your adopted dad. Okay. It's
Okay.
about your birth family, your family of origin, and what you came here to clear and heal. And your involvement with some of these things earlier on in your life is because of these sort of genetic ties that you have to these
Yes.
things that you are resolving within yourself and
Oh,
sharing that with that
I have so
bloodline. You're
much
helping them.
goosebumps. I have so
You
much
can
goosebumps
help
right now.
them. What?
I I have so much goosebumps right now.
You are helping them. All this healing you're doing is helping them immensely, immensely. Don't doubt that at all, at all, at all, at all. So this is it's powerful because like this is you took on a lot of intensity. You took on as a soul a lot of like really dark, distorted stuff to clear and heal, which takes a very strong soul. And like you said, like you have this crown, you have this like basically this royal bloodline lineage. It's powerful enough and connected enough to source to clear that darkness. And I get that because I have something very similar as well. And I, even though it's not directly connected to my direct bloodline, I will tell you that through, we'll just say like God, family, God, parent, child kind of situation connections on my mom's family, there's some
Hmm.
similar shit like that as well. But it's
Yeah.
not a blood connection, but there's some distant connections to some mafia stuff. Okay.
And then
And
when you look at my actual astrological chart, you're gonna laugh because it's gonna be lined up to with um you know, the gods giving me so much fire, but it's also balanced with water and earth, and you'll see that. So
Yeah. And if you've had a lot of lifetimes and you're very advanced as a soul, there's certain patterns that will show up in your chart. If I was ever to take a look at it, and there you would be generally fairly elementally balanced, and you would have like a lot of like you'd have like a Star of David pattern showing up somehow in your chart. And um that's a whole nother topic. But
Like,
for now,
why have
I just
I had Palladians come and visit me twice in human
like
form?
I'm just going to tell you right now, like just from my perspective, we're moving through a really powerful portal on 1221. And in order to make the most out of it for yourself, your energy needs to get really focused. And there's because you're still kind of attached and you have been kind of still into story, like more than the subtle energies of what's really going on. Because if you were a little bit more tapped into subtle energies, you would be more clear about setting that healthy boundaries with your biological family of origin. Like that's going to just hinder your progress. And I can't even like go forward with you until that's resolved. So plus also this was a lot for me today, like in terms of energy, and also as a, time as well. And I know right now, like you said that you're not able to provide compensation, but in the
Yep.
bigger picture
No, I will.
energetically,
I will.
like it is important in the bigger, ultimately, like when you're able to balance that out. So and I do want to keep working with you. I think it would be really valuable, but there's just some things that need to kind of like get resolved in order to keep going forward.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna open up a, bank account probably tomorrow. Just let me know what do you think is fair, and I can send it to you. It's not that I don't have the money. I just have chose not to, because I've owned my own company for about a year, and I was, just getting paid cash. I own my own a landscape company, and that's what I do currently. So all my
Oh,
customers just
nice.
either,
That's
yeah,
great. Congrats.
yeah, yeah. And but um as far as clearing stuff from my biological family, that's what I came down here this year to do. Like, that was my goal and plan. Like, regardless of being followed, or the UFO stuff, which I do believe is real, because I believe my pineal gland was blocked. But that's what I came here to do, and it's nearing the end of the year, and I just need to know, because I know my sister wants the help. My mom, she's on her own. I love her, but I'm gonna love her from a distance, and I am very good at setting those boundaries. If and but as far as my sister is concerned, I know she's she's the only one in our family that hasn't really struggled with drug abuse. I mean, she has a 3-bedroom house. She's the only one doing well, as far as their terms. And me, just me and her are the only ones, but she's not spiritually there. And that's one of the reasons she told me why she wanted me to move in with her before she kicked me out when we got in an argument, because of the trauma of everything coming back to us as children this year. So I know I'm gonna be going through this portal for sure, because I've been going through this journey for
Yeah.
4 years. But as far as my sister is concerned, what can I do? Because I'm very good at setting boundaries as well. I mean, I'm the reason that we stopped talking. Like,
Yeah.
and I messaged her because of what you told me, because I felt like it was very important for her to know those things. And and she listened, and she's taking it all in. But she's my polar opposite. So I mean, she's a
Yeah.
Libra, I'm a Cancer.
The most powerful thing you can do right now through this portal
Mhm,
is to anchor your higher self, anchor these
okay.
higher energies, and um, just within a safe, healthy boundary that can't be infiltrated by any other like forces. Because I'm just in a bigger picture, there's a little bit of a battle going on between like the witchcrafts and like the wizards and the dark wizards and the good wizards going on through 1221. So it's like, I would say just, that's not that long from now. That's Tuesday. It's really important to set a really solid boundary around yourself right now.
I just left Oracle 2 days ago. I moved away from Oracle, Arizona. If you look up that town, it's called Oracle for a reason. And I messaged you yesterday. I know I messaged you a lot, but 5 months ago, I got invited to move into that town very randomly. Okay. Right after I got
Exactly.
kicked out of my sister's house. And I have had two spells put on me, like that I felt from these darker wizards there in Oracle. I felt it. Like that the energies there were bad. I mean, there was a lot of good, but there's a reason why I moved there and I knew it intuitively. But I went to see what was gonna happen because it was for a job offer. This guy wanted to repair houses and all this stuff. And these three people, this guy Mark Newell, he was in a coven in 1974, very advanced wizard, very dark, and I fought him full force. And 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 I saw my spiritual healer 3 days ago to see if I still had these spells put on me, and he said, "No, no, you don't. You're just fighting this deep and dark internal battle." And that's how I know that the dark negative energy cannot, it can't mess with me because I fought it full force. I'm telling you, I intuitively knew that what was happening in Oracle was not what I thought it was, and I just left 3 days ago
Well,
after
I'm
seeing
feeling
a
that
spiritual
energy
healer.
strong, and I'm telling you, there's a
Oh,
that
oh,
there's still a
it's
lot of energy around that's clearing out.
and it
Okay.
will and it will December 21st, because I will tell you this, I haven't gotten in trouble since my early 20s, but I did get a misdemeanor charge, stupid charge for criminal damage. It's because I broke a window June 9th, the first time I was trying to leave Oracle. Okay. And it's because these people were know the sheriff's there, and it's all fucked up. And so I got arrested. I got in trouble for this dumb stupid charge, and I'm going to court on the 21st for to get all this cleared out. So that's what you're still feeling. It's because I still have energy attached there through court,
Yeah.
and it's just
Okay. Do you know of any sacred waters anywhere you could get to
maybe.
that you can like something you could actually like go into, like with a bathing suit?
I'm not sure. I can look it up, but I mean, I already know I'm going to win the court case. I mean, it's not a big thing. I'm going to represent myself, um, and I think these dark evil forces, because they're an oracle, they do have a satanic cult. It's very very real. And I
Yeah,
didn't.
it's very real. I'm dealing with it right now.
I, I was dealing with it full force for five
But I'm dealing with it
months.
because I'm a super empath, and so
Hmm.
everything that's going on with you, I'm flushing through my system right now to help you clear it out and giving it back to source creator. And
No,
I'm telling you, it's an intense energy, and you have been around. I just need to
there
be
was
clear. You have
many
been
people.
around and involved with people who are very dark. And I'm not saying that's because you are very dark, but it has, you know, like there's a there's a lot here that's still, it's almost like I feel like you took this on in order to clear out some really intense stuff. That's kind of
Yep.
what Blu-rays do. But right now you're in a position where what you took on was so intense that you ended up synchronizing to me to help you clear it because it's so intense.
So I I have dated witches before, but there's light witches. Okay, I know the difference. There's light, but I don't call them witches. They're light workers. Um, but but when I left the church, because I was a Christian my whole life, I started to look into all this stuff, and what it means. The pentacles, what it means to what the satanic cult, like all of this stuff. I never was a part of. I just wanted to know. to know what it was, who Alastair Crowley was, what the book was. And I needed to get this information because I wanted to see if darkness is.
Sorry, I need to say this to God. The dark shadow aspect around Aleister Crowley needs to be cleared and offered back to God, and the Aleister Crowley timelines need to be closed out.
Yes. Yes.
Karia ashatoriani naria ataria potoria sietiki. Patia sosotoria adia tadia potoria shato tadia pototo na totia sasato katia sasato atatariati patia potoria setiaka kutia sasati kotoria satia paria shaso na anaya satia koto satitia kotoria seti paria shaso tadia kotoria papatia sasato kataria seti nea koda sato pati kato tatia ya Nari ha 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 potoa kakati asakati ata. Because some of it was blocking the throat chakra from sharing the real word and the frequencies and the tones of God. Potia tapo poto kodioto satia katia kototia satia pu shitia kotoria satia kotoria katia kotoria satia koto putu kotoria satia ka koria satia ka teriasi katia.
So the only 2 times that I felt that spell or any spell work put on me, I was wearing a quartz necklace with black tourmaline that I wore. The last time that it happened, I was at the bar. So me going to Oracle, a lot of people knew I was going to be there. Come to find out, I was being set up. It has to do with dark forces, and I was bringing light to that place. And I went through a lot, but I started my own landscape company there. I got this modeling stuff going on there that I got while I was there. And I on
okay,
December 20th.
I'm sorry. I have to take care of myself right now. Okay, first things first. I need you to stop smoking while we're doing this energy clearing because it's hard. Like it's I think it's because there's a little bit of like fear around clearing the throat chakra and allowing this to go.
I agree.
And you know, I'm not saying don't, like, if you really feel a need to do it later, you can, but just
no, I'm good.
And secondly, like, I'm just letting you know that energetically, this is a lot for me. And like, I do need to find a way that we can sort of, like, I've done these battles before. I've done them a lot in private. Usually it's more with, like, I've done some really intense battles with like a lot of Egyptian spell work and the pharaohs. This is more directly related to the witchcraft and these dark fucking people in Oracle. And I just like, I just, there's only so much I can take on here energetically and protect myself today. So I just like, and Merlin is here to support me and just like,
I'm here.
I just need to, like, I can't, I guess what I'm saying is I can't, when you talk, I keep having to take more of it on. And I'm happy that we had this call and that I was able to help transform this energy, because like, this is all part of the battle, like between now and 12/21. But if I take on so much that I like make my energy field weak, then that's going to weaken me too much for what I have coming in the next few days. And so I just need to be mindful about sort of bringing this call to a close. And I'm not saying that in any way to be offensive or rude. It's just because I have to protect and care for my own energy right now.
I'm here for you.
Dea coconariasa sotiaca coriasa sitia coriasa sitia cocoriasa coriasa sitia cotoriasa catapa tiaco teriasia teriaca. Dea shashata tia ta tariasia to tariasia tiaca cotia se soto teriasa soto asitia cotoriasa patia pa tariasia tiaco toriasa. These people hate me. They hate me. Taria sa kotoria setia tata te todoria sa setia kotoria setia tedia setia. Paria setititi kotoria setia tati. Paria setia kotoria setia kata. Taria potata because they want to maintain control. They don't want people to have real access to God. And that's what's happening in 1221. Taria kato taria setia kotoria setia kotoria setia. Karia to toria setia kotoria setia kataria. Ne ata totoria setia kotoria setia pataria setia. Toria setia kotoria setia kotoria setia kotoria tia. Tatia katoria sesiti tatir seto kria setia. Naria soto toria kataria poteria setia kotoria setia. Neria sasoto pa to pati. Karia soto kotoria setia potoria sesiti karia setia potoria setia kotoria setia. Naria sato taria setia koto taria atiata tori ataria koteria pototeria setia. Ne totoria kataria pototeria setia kaya koria setia koteria seto kria setia. Just taking a breath. And just feeling, drawing in the blue ray and the energy of Jesus Christ throughout your whole system, and sending, like, imagining like a white ray being sent from the tips of your fingers, white diamond rays. Sending all this purified satanic energy back to God's source to transform and alchemize it. Okay. Thanking Merlin for his help in this energetic battle. Feeling this come to a close. Seeing all of that dark energy being absorbed by the sun, transformed back to the great central sun, back to God's source, gone from this universe and the multiverse, no longer having any substance. It's done. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So just feeling back into yourself, back into your third eye, your energy column, feeling that again, your ascension column of white light descending down through the crown chakra of your head, down through your whole body, seeing that crown floating above your crown chakra, like a literal golden crown. Okay. It's a bestowal from King David. Okay. Embracing that royal heritage, that royal lineage as an Israelite of the Most High. And it is done, and it is done, and it is done. Everything else is canceled, nulled, voided, closed, completely transmuted with ultraviolet fire and the violet flame of Saint Germain, offered back to God's source, and it is done. And so it is. Okay. That's it. So just taking some time, just having a few deep breaths in through your heart and out through your heart. And again, actually, no, they want to go in through your crown chakra. That's what's really getting awakened here. And into your pineal gland. Bringing that energy that all the way down to your tailbone and your root. And circling it back up your toroidal field, so like a donut, up and around, and back up and down through your crown and down through your central energy column and down through your root, and then flowing back up and around all on all sides and back through, and just feeling the flow of this perfect diamond light, your divine blueprint, spinning through your toroidal field, clearing out everything that was discordant, old, collapsed, and completed. It's done. Ready to move forward, beginning from a completely new, unburdened energy field and karma. And so it is. And just taking another, just kind of feeling yourself being washed now in like the golden and white light of the ascension through over your whole body for a few breaths. Allowing yourself to be bathed in that rain shower of white and golden light.
Love. I'm sending you so much love and light because I need to tell you that I got myself arrested on purpose because a few of these people are sergeants of Pinal County that are part of this cult in Little Oracle. There's only 3,000 people there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all a part of this. So I got myself arrested on purpose because it has to do with corruption, and I'm representing myself, and it's a misdemeanor charge. And here's how God works. Okay, so there's a place called Sue and Jerry's. It's the biggest little town attraction. It's an antique shop. They do art. They have Wednesday night farmers markets with bands there. Ordinarily enough, so I went to jail for 1 day on purpose. Didn't know where the fuck I was gonna go. I just knew that I needed to leave Oracle. And right across the street from Sue and Jerry's, this big town attraction, they're Satanists as well. Come to find out, the owners. I have met this old man named Dave, and he owned the big property right across the street from their house. And ordinarily enough, that's where I moved for the past 3 months. And ordinarily enough, and I didn't know that Sue and Jerry were Satanists and that they were part of, that they knew the people that I moved in with very well. Ordinarily enough, on 12/12, when I did, well, the day after I got out of jail, um, they didn't think I was going to stay in Oracle, and I moved in with Dave. But they had a big Santa Muerte statue with fire burning facing towards Dave's property. Okay. And they did it again just recently. So on 12/12, when you did that meditation, now I'm on the property across the street. Dave's house was the biggest property next to his in the whole town. I had my feet in the ground and I did the whole meditation facing towards their property. That's how real this is. And I didn't know what you're telling me until now. I did it facing towards their property, the 12/12 activation. And then I left 2 days later. I left on the 14th. And now I'm out of there. just to let you know, the people who basically run that town were across the street from where I was living for the past 3 months. And then I meet you, I do the 12/12 meditation. I purposely did it facing towards their house, not knowing what you're telling me. And when I met you, towards their house. And like I'm getting goosebumps right now. Like literal goosebumps. It's crazy.
Sorry, it's hard.
Are you gonna make me cry? So I just wanted to let you know that, because I mean I was roofied, a month ago, and it was all a setup, and they did it to take my quartz necklace, and then they put it back at my house 2 days later, just randomly, and I didn't know that I didn't have it, and I knew what was going on. So what I did is, before I left town, because I knew that quartz necklace had negative energy, I went back to his house. I put it on his porch, and
I
I
spelled
put,
it.
yep, And then I put a
Yeah.
nice little Alastair Crowley uh, uh, quote, taped it on his door with the cross, and then the quartz necklace right at the bottom. And then I left.
Yeah.
I knew what was going on, just not to the depths of what was going on until right now. And so what you're telling me.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of breathing through all that healing, you know?
I I told you yesterday, you're pure. You have a lot of light like I do. A lot. Like more than I do. And I didn't realize everything that was happening to the extent that it was happening until now. But I knew that there was a reason why I went to Oracle, why I was invited randomly. And it all has to do with the spiritual battle that's been happening. And I knew it too. I
Yeah.
knew it
Yes.
because my whole time there, uh, I mean, I could tell you just the people that I met and how fake they've been, and just, and it's had to do with me getting another charge, but I knew I had to do it on purpose. I it's going to be off my record here soon. I'm just going to have to pay a fine, but I'm going to prove how corrupt.
Energetically, it's been cleared out, like from the work we just did. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
just
mean,
go with that understanding that energetically it's that entanglement is clear. So
yeah. I mean, the judge, the presiding judge in Oracle doesn't even have the qualifications to be a judge at all. He has no criminal background history.
yeah.
So, I mean, I've done my homework. Like it's just I've gone through a lot to get to this point, and I just didn't know why, but intuitively I did. And I it's so weird that on 12/12 I meet you, and I messaged you yesterday, to do this, and on 12/12 I intuitively did that meditation with the sun out, beautiful day, took my shoes off, and I did it right facing towards their property. And and then and then and then I intuitively left on the 14th, and it's because people were coming to my grandpa's property. I call him my grandpa, and he has a produce business that, he's 83 and he's retired, and we won the Firewise Award this year for having the cleanest, best property, because that's what I do. And we built this great relationship, but there's a lot of people that talk in that town that are run by Satanists, and he's lost a lot of business because of me. So I left, and I'm in a good place, and I'm staying with one of his friends that they know, and they're keeping it a secret from him, because they don't want him to worry, and everything's good.
Oh,
But
I'm getting okay. I'm getting more insight now about
yeah,
this
yeah.
news thing.
Hmm.
They sent a spell. They were trying to send a spell to me through you to noose my neck. So I stopped doing the light language. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Sorry,
they've
just a little emotional.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm sending you a lot of love and light. I'm telling you right now, I fought this head on, head on for the past 5 months. And I intuitively knew that I needed to do this. I just didn't know why. But also the past 5 months, the amount of information that I've gained regarding the spiritual path and what's happening has changed my life, you know? Like I didn't know about all of this stuff that's happening when I first moved to Oracle. Like I knew my gifts, I was very spiritual. I just didn't know the depths of what was happening and why I was moving to Oracle and the things that happened until now. like really, really.
You
And
were
it's a
just
lot it's
You
a
were
lot for
just
me.
there to be a bit of a glitch in the matrix, right? Or just, glitch in the spell work, however you want to call it, right?
Because I mean, I there were very, very old, dark, powerful witches there. And I mean,
Yes.
I
Yes.
had my all-seeing eye hat stolen from one of them, to do spell work, and I've had just certain things taken from me for them to do spell work, and I know it, and I've let all of them know it. All of them in town know it. Like and that's why I had to leave, because they were making it hell for my grandpa to even sell produce. I was having to give him money, because I make good money, for the landscape work I did, and there towards the end, I was giving him, half the money I made during that day, because his produce business was suffering so bad. And it's fucked up. That town has been ran by a lot of devil worshippers for a long time. And my grandpa knows it, but he's not that spiritual type. But when I first got there, he was like, yeah, when I first moved here 25 years ago, they said they had, devil worshippers out in the hills who run the town. And, you know, it's a very real thing. People go there like to do that. It's a whole community. It's a very, very powerful dark community. Like
Yeah,
every
okay, but like, here's the thing.
it's
What's
not powerful.
happening
It's
now?
not powerful. It's not powerful. It
Yeah,
it
like
it,
don't
it
reinforce
was.
that, because that's what
It
we're
was. Yeah.
that's what's just been
Yeah.
dismantled energetically.
It was.
So
It
so
was.
yeah, that it was, but it's not anymore.
No.
That's been dismantled.
And I thought it was powerful, and I think that's why I went to Oracle to figure out who these people were, because when I tell you that the people that I was dealing with were probably some of the most advanced witches I have ever come across, it's 100% true. And they cannot touch the light. They cannot touch the light. There towards the end, they wouldn't even look me in the eye. Every single one of them that I met that were so cool with me at first, this last month, I haven't seen any of them. And it's a small town. They're all going back to their dens. They're all going out and hiding, like they do. And I was not scared. And I
They've
haven't
lost
been.
all their power.
Yeah, all of it. And I let
Like,
them know
because
that.
they're, I mean, what they were just like, Trish,
I let
they're
them know that.
using their best stuff, and then
Yep. Yep.
it's just not as powerful as the energy that we've been bestowed to work with here.
Yep.
So
And they know that, because
their
here's the
dark
thing.
forces are dismantled.
Yeah, here's the thing. I knew what was happening and what they were doing the whole time. So I got information that I needed on every single person that I met to be able to come to this point and get arrested on purpose. That I didn't think I was going to need to do, but I did it. Because there's a lot of dark things that needed to get dismantled, and I was willing to sacrifice a lot of misery that I experienced, but I found a lot of beauty in it. So much beauty. There's always darkness
Yeah.
before light.
So, well, obviously they're obviously doing it there because that's obviously like got that site has like immense spiritual power. So
Oh, oh yeah, 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 yeah. 100%, hundred
yeah,
percent.
it like yeah, and they're showing me Jesus, so
Mm-hmm.
belongs to Jesus.
Oh yeah. See, and I'm and
So
I'm and I'm 50% Pasquayaki. Like, even, of course it belongs to Jesus, but even in our current terms,
and I don't mean
that's.
that in an ownership way,
Oh,
but
right, right, right. But
like
yeah, that's Native American land. And for them, and I have spoken to them directly, like these people that I moved in with, for them to disrespect the beauty in our land and try to use it on me, who has that bloodline, is not okay. And I will never wish anybody bad karma. And I have told every single person that has done bad shit to me in that town, I have gone to their face, to their houses, and told them these things. personally. Like they cannot touch the light. It's too bright. It's too bright. It's too bright. That's why I said what I said, and I'm gonna go back to court on, and it's no coincidence that my court date is the 21st. I didn't know that when I got when I got the charge, No, seriously. I I have to go back to Oracle because I'm not an Oracle anymore. I'm 30 minutes away. I have to go back there on the 21st and
It's to
at 10
finish.
o'clock.
It's to finish this off. It's
Yeah,
to finish this off. Yeah.
that's so weird. That's so weird. I didn't even
It's not
realize that.
weird. It's
But
all
yeah,
planned. It's divinely planned.
yeah. So
So
wow, I did not know that this was going to happen out of this. Holy cow.
this was intense. I got a sense it was going to be intense yesterday when you were messaging me, thing like because I didn't realize things were going to get this intense.
And see, for me, I don't think it's intense. like it's like something, as an empath, it's like something that I'm just like, oh yeah, it's that battle I had to fight, but
Yeah, but I was the
it's
one that did it. I
I
was the one.
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm sorry. Uh, I have so much love for you, just for you doing this. I just want you to know that, like, so much immense love. Like, really, I just want you to know that you are you are a friend, and you will be compensated for this. I just have to open up a damn bank account. I
Yeah.
promise.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Oh man, just like it's a lot to breathe out. I am gonna have to go. I was already out in nature to prepare for this, which makes sense. And I have to go out again now and go like just like find there's like not far from my house, there's a giant tree at the local, like the closest
Hmm.
neighborhood park.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna have to go and just like hug the tree and like kind of groundingness. No, really,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
connect with those elves because, like I
Of
said,
course.
you have that strong elven connection as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, look at my ears.
so, well, I'm just energetically though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like in terms of how I'm reading your energy. So, and you seem honestly more clear energetically, like from this conversation. So,
No.
and it
Yeah,
well,
no.
not just a conversation. It was a conversation and a spiritual healing. So, which was for your bloodline, but also for your connections to these, what you kind of signed up for this healing these energies in Oracle. So there's a lot. There's a lot.
And here's what I was wearing. I was wearing my shawl, my all-seeing eye shawl, with the all this wonderful stuff on it, geometric symbols, and
Yeah.
the very healing shawl.
Yes. I was wearing my
What's
white
this called right
sweater with
here?
rainbow. See, I have a rainbow channel down the middle
Oh, okay.
and
What's
rainbow on my arms because I give rainbow Reiki.
That's amazing. What what are these called? The irises, or like the
Which ones? The eyes? The eye is the eye of Horus.
no, 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 no. Well, yeah, no, 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 I know that. I have that tattooed like this. All these geometric symbols.
I don't know all of them.
I'll I'll send you a I'll send you a picture. I know a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
them.
I don't know all of them offhand. So yeah. So okay. So there's still energy being cleared here. Like it's okay. Like like in terms of like whenever I do sort of big healings, there's always this little bit of like time after where there's just the energy kind of goes through a completion of clearing out, which is part of why I'm going to go in nature for yourself too. Even though I was the one that kind of was doing the transmutation here, I would say for yourself also, it's important to go put your hands on bare earth, like real earth, not like pavement or asphalt, but or concrete, and just offer to the earth to just heal and transmute and recycle any remaining residual energies that are
Okay.
wanting to be released because we already gave to source,
Okay.
but and I'm going to do the same. And so I feel like that would be very, very valuable if you could do that after we get off.
Okay. I just got goosebumps again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got I got them like 5 or 6 times, but I'm very intuitively, energetically, like very connected in that way. So I mean, I felt everything that you felt. Maybe not on the extent because you were the one that was doing the work for me, but um yeah, I know when someone is lying, when someone is pure, when someone like I can't see auras, but I'm trying to figure out what my real abilities are. I mean, I know I'm a manifester to the fullest because I just, I manifest these things and I see these, visions. That's why I'm so good at, landscaping and doing this whole art thing. I envision what I want something to look at, and then I do the I do the steps and it happens. It blows my mind actually, and I'm not telling you these things egotistically. Like,
So this was the first moment since we got on the call that I was able to feel the template energy of your higher self after
uh
all of
huh,
that.
mm-hmm.
And I did feel the energy of you. You do have an important connection to the arts, including music. And like so I see you with a harp. So um definitely there's like an angelic kind of connection there for you. And I
my
think
oh my gosh, I just got goose. Oh my gosh. So my grandma, her name is Harlinda, and she is my spirit guide. Like literally
yeah,
when I had
yeah,
my spiritual awakening 4 years ago, she comes in the form of a white dove. I used to see her when I used
yeah,
to go
yes,
in my circles, and I have a collection of dove feathers just from being an oracle. Like I would just see them randomly, I knew it's her, and the house
yes,
that I just moved into that are my grandpa's friends, um, that I'm staying at now, the day before I moved in, the lady Sandy just sent me a random picture on her line of a white dove. She was like, "Look how cool this is!" And I started crying. I was like, "That's my grandma. She was just checking out your house and seeing if y'all were good people." and she's spiritual like us, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's so true." And the last thing my grandma said, well, one of the last things she said before she was dying is, she wanted to see me before she died, and she wasn't able to do that, but she is my spirit guide. And when I had my spiritual awakening, I had some very vivid dreams regarding my grandma, which is my mom's mom, me and my sister. Very, very vivid. And I can get into those at a later time because you'll probably start crying again. Like I'm writing a book about it. Like
yeah,
like the first dream was with just me, my sister, and my mom. Very vivid. And it was the last time I went to rehab. The last time I went to rehab was when I had my spiritual awakening, when all this stuff started to happen. And then I just had that same sort of dream again, but this time it was this year after I had gotten kicked out of my sister's house and my mom's nowhere to be found. It was the same dream, but it was just only with my grandma. and that was this year.
yeah.
So very, very spiritual stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I felt really strongly again that energy of the harp in the
Hmm.
heart, in your heart, and in my heart. So it's actually very important frequencies for you. So I suggest like going if you can go onto YouTube or Spotify or something or anything you have where you can get music and listening to some harp music would be really supportive for you. You can put it on in the background when you have a shower or whatever, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Cause I love music. That's one of my my passions.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I
it's going to
write
help you
music.
tap into that energy of protection from her as a guardian angel, and all of your angelic support. And really, right now, that would be extremely beneficial for you to be really connected to your angels, to be calling in your angels for their protection and support. And also what I did there with the toroidal field in the meditation, where I was drawing down that eccentric column of white light and moving it up and around to clear your energy and bring in those diamond codes into your toroidal field. You need to keep doing that between now every day, between now and 1221 and on 1221, to keep your energy clear through this passage, this portal.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So those
Yeah.
are the
Something
those are your that's your homework, that's your maintenance
awesome.
protocol, and it's going to help keep your energy where it is now from where it was when we started the call, and where you need to be for moving through this portal. So
Okay.
and then yeah, if we and then like you said, in terms of like going further with that, that's like in terms of hearing more about your book and more about all of like the details, that's we can talk about that, in another call, another conversation. So
March before we get off the phone, March 13th, 1997,
yes.
when this UFO thing happened. Okay. The one thing that happened with my body is my vertebrae was messed up. I have back scoliosis. There's 33 vertebrae leading up to the pineal gland. Okay. And that's the only problem I have physically right now. I have to take a muscle relaxer just to be able to sleep during night time, and I have an ache, that I have to deal with every day. But it doesn't bother me because I'm a very active, I'm fit. But yeah, that's that day. That's the only thing that I was affected with is my vertebrae was messed up. I have back scoliosis. I have a crooked back that I didn't have prior to that day, as well as my stuttering, as well as my severe learning disabilities. Just so you know.
Yeah. So I'm seeing here again, I don't physically, I'm not looking physically like as a I'm not looking at your physical x-ray. I'm looking at your etheric template of your
Hmm.
spine and where
Hmm.
that I know you said it's like a scoliosis, like a twisted spine, but it looks to me etherically more like there was like a vertebrae, like a shifted disc, like a vertebrae that sort of got shifted out of alignment.
Yep. Yep.
And
I know exactly where it's at. It's only one spot. It's only one spot in my back.
right, it's just one spot. And
Hmm.
so etherically, they're bringing that all back together for you now. So I can't say exactly how that will imprint onto your physical body, but that is getting healed. So, and your etheric body is your double. It's your non-physical double of your body.
Okay.
Okay.
Well. I mean, I can feel that it's getting healed. I mean, I've always been physically active, and I've been a personal trainer, nutritional aid, like I said, but like I don't work out as much as I used to at all anymore. But I mean, I now I can run, you know, 7 8 miles, and I smoke. I can, if I work out just a little bit, like I have physical gifts that are not normal, and I know that. I'll just say that much.
So to fully get you into alignment with some of your powers, this kind of needs to be healed, and it has to do a lot
Okay.
with your elven connections, and
Okay.
you're getting more integrated with that. So there's different aspects of you I'm tapping into, right? There's this like the angelic aspect, which is connected to this like harp music, and then there's this elven aspect, which is a little more connected to like wizardry and like
Mhm.
manifestation powers.
Mhm.
Like you, like you were saying before, they have manifestation powers. So there's just, these dark energies need to finish getting cleared before you can really dive into all of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So just
Yes.
allow, like I said, just keep doing the clearing that I was talking about, the clearing. Like make
Okay.
that like your, if you have to forfeit exercise time to make sure you have very strong energy clearing maintenance time for the next, 5 days, we'll just say, then do that. I can't
Okay.
emphasize that enough.
Can
So
you send me can you send me some stuff to do that? Because I'm not exactly sure what you're meaning. Like just like meditating, like doing yoga nidra. Like what do you mean by?
yeah, meditating and visual drawing in that diamond white light through your spinal
Okay.
column
Okay.
and sending it around the toroidal field. Have you seen pictures of the toroidal field before?
Yeah. Yep.
Like where it looks like a donut, like around your
Hmm.
entire body and through your system.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um,
All.
yeah, I mean, I Steve Nobel's meditations on YouTube are really good for free
Okay.
stuff, and he probably has a toroidal field meditation. So
Okay.
maybe try looking for that. Okay, that's my
Okay.
red bag. I can't say I've done his, but I'm sure he has one, and I I'm highly trust all of his work, and he's definitely 100% of the light. So you be safe with Steve Nobel. Okay,
Perfect. All right.
so that's it. We're done for today. Woo! Oh, this was like a normal kind of full session because we basically, we're basically almost at 2 hours. Like for me, a normal full session is about 2 hours. So, but it was good. We got a lot done, a lot. So,
Right.
um, so do you have any, not like getting into story, but do you have any questions about what you need to, anything else that you need to do or that you need to be aware of, um, you know, going forward?
No, I mean, I always, so for me, I always know intuitively, I always just know. But for me, you've helped out a lot with putting a name to the knowing, because just because I know it doesn't mean that I know exactly what I mean by that. And you've helped me, because I'm still learning a lot more about all of, the star seeds and the ancestry as far as that, you know. Um, but I've gotten a lot from today. And if you could just send me some links to do some meditations and stuff, that would be awesome. Because I'm I'm a doer. I have a shit ton of energy. Like like I do a lot of art. Like I've been doing a lot of art lately. Um, and I'm learning how to play piano and stuff like that is just coming very, very easy to me. And I it's hard for me to explain into words how cool that is and how just I don't understand. Because I don't have any I never had any musical talents in my life. Like I didn't start doing art until less than 2 years ago, and I I've sold a lot of my pieces for a good amount of money, and it's just I'm 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 trying to stay present and in the moment because I know my gifts are probably far more than I even know just for the little bit of time that I've been doing them and the connections that I've gotten. Like I just started this Facebook, or I mean this Instagram account that I met you on October of last year, Everything from that point is just from the last year.
Yeah.
So it's all new. Like
Yeah.
I was a dude who liked playing sports and, working out and, you know, hanging out with girls and drinking, and now I've been single for 2 years. Like legit, and I'm like painting, and I've
Yeah.
been working on myself. I've just been working on
Yeah.
myself and being
Good.
lonely. I've been very lonely, but it's what I needed.
Yeah. Well, you're getting reacquainted with I know I'm not saying this in the wrong way because your predominant energy is definitely masculine and divine masculine, but you have been getting reacquainted with your feminine. We're all both on some level, and that's
Oh
actually
yeah.
very important to your art. And I just feel like also gave me the advice for you to bring flowers into your home. That's your third piece of homework.
Uh,
So like, and even like if you can get really feminine flowers, like right now,
you should
and
look at
have them near
my
you
my
when you're doing
Instagram.
art. What?
You should look at my Instagram pictures. So my grandpa has a 1.5 acre property, and all of the flowers that I posted are from his garden. I mean, I love flowers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually a lot more feminine than I've been putting off. But like in my personal life, like I I have a lot of feminine traits too, a lot more than any of my friends, that I know. Like I paint, I do art, I listen to singers and all different types of music, and I'm not afraid to get in touch with that side at all.
Yeah, it's just
So
like
yeah.
your higher self energy is how do I explain it? It's especially that elven energy is feeling. It's still it's almost like a bit Peter Pan. Like it's like this playful, it's still masculine, but it's like a young masculine that's very playful and fun and soft and unhardened and it's really nice. It's like it's really magnetic and magical. And so and right now I'm just feeling like part of what's helping you kind of fully align with that is like um receiving this all these divine feminine energies and this like these feminine kind of angel guardians that are watching over you and sending you all these energies with the harp, and that's it's helping to align you for like what you're ultimately here to do.
Hmm.
So bring the flowers into your home. Roses are probably the number one, and I will let you kind of feel your way intuitively around that, but you definitely, if you can get a lighter, more pale colored rose like ivory or blush, it's going to be like amazing. And yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
That's it. Yeah.
What's your sign?
I am a Taurus sun and I am a Virgo moon and I'm a Cancer rising, kind of cusp Leo, but technically rising signs don't have cusps. But because I'm on the 29th degree and because technically some astrologers always read 1 degree up, it's kind of there is a little and I could say this from looking at other people with the same, like Oprah's rising is the same. And definitely when you are on the 29th degree of on your rising sign, there's a little blend of that comes in of the other energy as well.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer, uh, sun for sure, and then Taurus moon, and then my rising is Scorpio.
Okay.
But I have 5 planets that are in Leo. so so like my Venus, my Mars, my Mercury, they're all Leo. That's why I have so much energy, you know. And that's
Yeah.
why I need nature to ground me. That's why I go out and walks and do all the stuff I do in nature. It's because I of my Taurus moon.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's very important for me, very very important.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
So
Oh
yep.
man, so much was cleared today. This was a lot. This is a huge transmission for you. So, dude, I just want to close by saying you may feel a little bit like off tomorrow. I can't say for sure um, because some of what we were battling with was external energies. So that you sort of were had sort of connected with, that were had sort of tapped into your energy. So it's kind of like you still may feel a little bit off just because of like clearing. It's
Mm,
just, if that's the case, it's just because of a healthy release and detoxification. And so it's nothing to worry about. Just drink water. Like I said, connect with the earth, put your hands on the earth. It's fine. Nothing to worry about.
okay. All right. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm sure I'll be fine. I mean, I my 5 months that I was in Oracle, I was, roofied, had spells put on me. I was around
Yeah.
very, very, very dark
Yeah.
energy, and I was fighting it. So
Yeah. And
I'm
a lot. And like I said, like, I think that on some level you were like partially spiritually protected from fully infiltrating you, but there was a lot that happened today to kind of give all that back to source. So just like, you know, like you may feel a bit of a shift.
okay.
So
I am blown away by the synchronicities of our conversation. I didn't think it was going to go the way that it did, but what you were saying, I had to tell you like the full story. Like there's no way that I could. So
well, I think it came to me. I think you came to me with all of this because I I'm sure I was meant to help you to clear this, not just for yourself, but for the collective. Um, and so, everything happens for a reason. And um, yeah, I'm
this
gonna,
this was a big clearing. Just so you know, you should do your research on Oracle, Arizona. I mean, it's one of the biggest satanic, most powerful thing that there was, you know, and I fought it head on at a very, very crucial moment. And then I got out of there because
yeah, yeah.
yep,
Yeah, there's a reason you were on the call on 1221.
yep.
So, um, so how do you feel about, do you want like how do you feel about, I just started a YouTube channel. How do
Hmm.
you feel about me posting this publicly? Because, there's some things that you share that maybe are confidential.
Uh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I have. I'm not afraid to tell my story. I mean, it's what I've been doing my whole life. You know, I'm very open. I'm very open and honest with everything. With me, there's nothing. My foolish darkness, I'm not afraid to bring it to light. That there was, or whatever. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like be beneficial to put this out there because it's also just solidifying and anchoring within the matrix stream, what the work we did here, but what's been done.
It was big. It
It
was
was
big.
big. Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
for 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 the collective, and just I'm just so happy that intuitively on 1212 I went outside to do that meditation,
Yeah.
and you were
Yeah.
doing those light sounds directly as I was looking. It was, I mean, that whole property is just right across the street, and and
And
and
it's
the
so
sun was out,
powerful.
and the
Yeah.
sun was out, and I didn't know who you were, and I did that meditation looking directly at their property, and now I'm sitting here talking to you before 1221.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yes.
So yeah, very powerful.
Yeah, it's super powerful. It's super powerful. Oh, you saw I cried earlier. I cried.
Yeah, yeah, and I was I was tearing up just at the thought of that, of how powerful it was.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah,
Well, good. Well done. Good work today. Good work. And take care of yourself.
will
And
do.
and we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Love and light. All right.
Sending you love.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.